Oh, well, she's a Toyota. I'm a Ferrari.
Were you a Ferrari when you were sitting outside being stood up in the cold for hours? Were you a Ferrari then, or were you a Toyota? Let me know. Girl, you couldn't put no label on that. Come on now. If you're gonna put a label, it's gonna say contractual obligation. Maybe that.
Roxy says we're gonna talk about it. Roxy says we're gonna talk about it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxy with Roxy Says, and we're gonna talk about it. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. So as you see, I had to change the background up to some orange peachy for the girls because the girls are back, okay? We are here for season 15, episode 1 of Housewives of Atlanta. So let's get into it. So as the show opens up, we see all of the women stepping into Sonia's party that she planned for her husband, Ross, his 40th birthday, okay? Then they rewind back a couple of days to see the events leading up to this party. So we're at Sheree's house and her man Martel comes over. Listen, if you don't know, Martel is from the show Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? I've never seen not one episode of the show, and I know that Martel is trash because I done seen him all over the blogs, okay? So if I know and I ain't even seen the show before, I know Sheree knows. So Sheree, your picker is broken, baby. So in her confessional, Sheree is saying that she wants Martel to move closer, and since they've met, they've been together every week, and the producer asked her if she's in love, right? And she's like, no, I didn't say all of that. No, I didn't say all of that. You know how Sheree be. But she's happy that she didn't give up on love. Listen, Sheree, nobody's believing this little contract that you got going on with Martel. Y'all don't have no sexual chemistry, energy. Like, I don't see it. Everything looks rehearsed, scripted, but we'll play along with you. We'll play along with you for the time being. Martel just came from a photo shoot and Sheree tells him that she has a little surprise for him. So she tells him to change. And then they show this montage of him changing his clothes. Like, girl, we don't care. We don't need to see it, okay? We don't care. Martel comes out of the room and he's like, oh, this is the surprise. Like, he's really underwhelmed. Sheree hired a personal chef to cook some food for them so they can eat together. And he makes a joke saying he saw the chef come. So what, you thought the chef was for a threesome? Like, Martel, think with your other head for once, baby. Think with your other head for once. Anyway, so Sheree and Martel start talking about Kandi, and Martel does not like the fact that Kandi called him an opportunist. I definitely think that he is. He's just trying to make his rounds on any show he could get on, and I do think that that's also why he reached out to Kenya in the DMs a while ago, but we'll get to that. Martel says, I think Kandi forgot who the real opportunist is. Her man, Todd Tucker. Now, that made me chuckle. That did make me chuckle. I said, okay, Martel, you better get your peach. You better work for your peach, bitch. So next scene, we get Kandi and her candy-coated crew, and they're talking about Sheree and her fail of a launch for her She by Sheree, She by Shein, She by Girl What the Fuck. And Kandi says, look, we tried to help her. I tried to help her out, but Sheree don't like to pay people. I am convinced now that Sheree don't pay, okay? Kandi is not the first, second, third, fourth person to come out and say, look, Sheree don't pay people. Even on an interview, I think, it was a Watch What Happens Live with Sheree and Kenya, and Sheree was complaining about receiving services, but they weren't up to her standards, so she didn't pay the person. And Kenya was like, no, you still have to pay, you just don't use that person again. And Sheree's like, well. Sheree don't be paying people, right? We've seen the designer from the launch of She by Sheree come out and say, he didn't give her the final designs or whatever because she didn't pay him. Sheree, like, girl. Anyways, during this scene, we see a clip of Kandi in a confessional with Ace Baby calling her, and he's crying, and he's like, Mom, I want you to help me with this. And she's like, well, can't Aunt so-and-so help you? And he's like, I want you to help me because I understand better when you help me. Every time Ace calls Kandi crying, I'd be so sad because this is not the first time Ace done called her crying, and I'm like, oh, Ace Baby, oh. But Kandi's in her confessional like, yeah, get somebody else to do it. I'm at work, baby. Kandi's like, okay, like, get somebody else to do it. I'm at work. So we can see that is going to be a reoccurring theme within this season. Kandi's going to be busy and everyone is going to be mad. So Kenya and Monyetta come over and they are chatting with Kandi. And they start discussing Kenya's new man, honey, that Monyetta set her up with. Monyetta was like, girl, come over here. Try something different. Try one of these. Try one of these, okay? Because Monyetta is happy where she's at, okay? You see all that drama that Neo is going through? A damn mess. I know Monyetta is happy she is not with him any longer with his big old head and his wandering peen. Child. Anyways, so Kenya says that she's really happy. She says he's easy on the eyes. He treats her well. I'm happy that Kenya moved on, divorced or not, because as we know, Mark is dragging that shit out. He's trying to take her house. It's a whole mess. So of course she can't wait to move on with her life until these papers are finalized, because God knows when that's gonna happen. So they start discussing Sheree and Martel, okay? And Monyetta says, look, the streets have been talking. Martel is already dipping and doing it all around Atlanta, cheating on Sheree. And I'm like, well, is it cheating if they're not really a real couple? Like, is it cheat? We gonna play this game? Okay, we gonna play this game. We gonna play this game. But Kenya and Candy and Monyetta, they going along with it. So I'm like, this what we doing? Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Then Kenya tells the ladies that Martel lightweight tried to talk to her, right? So they open up the DM. She hasn't accepted the DM request yet. And when she opens it up, it says that he unsent his message. So I'm like, Kenya, okay, did you see the message? What did the message say, right? Because the DM could be anything. It could be innocent, like, hey, how are you doing, right? But you know Kenya's gonna present something as if it's tea, right? But the message is unsent. So we don't know what Martel really said in the DM. Granted, with his track record, it probably was some flirtatious type of shit. But Kenya, don't go presenting information if you don't know what the DM said. And then I saw on Watch What Happens Live, Kenya said like, oh, the DM wasn't even a big deal, honestly. So she was being messy in this situation, bringing up this DM with Martel, knowing damn well it wasn't even anything that serious. And she said it herself on Watch What Happens Live with Andy. So Candy starts telling the ladies that her and Todd are kind of bumping heads when it comes to scheduling, when it comes to Todd working on his endeavors and Candy being involved in that. And Candy gets emotional. Of course, you know, when it comes to her man and her family, Candy is gonna cry, okay? The way that I see it, I think Candy is like, look, Todd, I'm funding your little endeavors, okay? I can't be there every step of the way. Like, I'm giving you the money to do it. Take the money, do what you need to do, and leave me the hell alone. Like, Candy, like, I got other stuff going on that's making money, right? That's putting food on the table, okay? So I'll invest in what you got going on, but after I give you the money, baby, you gotta take it and go. I can't hold your hand every step of the way, baby. I'm funding it, okay? You could do the rest. But like I said before, clearly that is going to be an issue all season between Candy and Todd, and who did not see something like this coming, really? So now we are at Sonia's house. Sonia got hella people living in her house. Listen, Sonia's Caribbean, my family is Caribbean, so I definitely understand a house with grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, the kids, the cousins. I've lived it. I get it. A lot of times when our family is coming from back home, they come into the States, they're getting their feet on the ground. Everyone stays together so they can save up their money, so they can get established. You know what I mean? So I understand. And Sonia's home, they look like they have more than enough space for all of these people to live there and not clash too much. So if it's working for them for now, it's working for them for now. I get it. I see the bigger picture. Everyone is trying to save money. I understand. But I can also understand people saying, oh, hell no. That's too much damn people in one. I get that too, for sure. So Sonia is throwing, so is it Sonia? I call her Sanya, child. So she is throwing a party for Ross's 40th birthday. It's a Harlem Nights theme. It's gonna be real cute, real sexy. So the family is in the kitchen talking about the party, and then they start talking about family issues, right? Sonia's sister says that Sonia has a hard time respecting boundaries. So they let us know that what is Sonia's sister's name? I don't want to call her Sonia's sister the whole episode, child. Well, so Sonia's brother-in-law, who is Sonia's sister's husband, child, I don't know this girl's name, but he is Sonia's personal assistant. And Sonia's sister makes a comment and she's like, look, instead of letting him eat dinner when he could just eat dinner, Sonia makes him work. Now look, that's why you're gonna always run into issues working with friends or family, okay? Because if he's on the clock, baby. It's not dinner time. It's work time. It's work time, honestly. Because if he wasn't friends or family, would you be expecting him to be eating dinner when he's supposed to be working? But when it's family or friends, they think that certain rules, certain standards don't apply to them. So I definitely understand both sides. Both of them need to have boundaries. Both of them need to respect each other and respect each other's time. Sonia can't make him do more than what he's supposed to do, and he can't expect to do less than what he's supposed to do. Like, y'all have to be on the same page and y'all got to treat each other fairly. So we'll see how that works out, but I don't think it's going to be good. And Sonia said that when she used to run track, she really employed everyone. Everyone was eating off of her. Her mom was a manager. Her sister was a hairstylist, and everything really revolved around her. And Sonia's sister got a confessional, honey. So in her confessional, she was saying Sonia has to learn how to readjust to this new life where she is not the number one priority, where we don't cater to her anymore. We have other things going on. We no longer work for her. So that's going to be an adjustment. We'll see how that goes. So next scene, we see Marlo having tacos with her nephews, William and Michael. I don't know why, but every scene that I see Marlo in with her nephews, it looks so scripted to me. I hate to say that because I know that she loves her nephew. She cares about them, obviously. But it looks so scripted to me. I don't know. Tell me what you think. It really does. Marlo says that she hasn't heard from her sister, the boy's mom, in a couple of months. She says that they've been working together with a life coach to help her with gentle parenting, which is good, right? Because honestly, Marlo has been thrown into this role of momty, munty. This was a child-free woman, and now she has 2 children that she's raising. So it's definitely an adjustment. She's going to make some mistakes along the way, like she did when she kicked the boys out and left them for dead. She left the boys for dead. But she's learning from that mistake, okay? And she's learning to have a happy balance with the boys. And they seem happy. They look happy and they look well cared for. Y'all like Marlo's earrings? I don't like them earrings. I know they fancy. I know they name brand or whatever, but I feel like they would go better like with a more casual look. I feel like with what Marlo had on the hair and the outfit, I feel like those earrings was just too much, child. I don't know. Tell me what you think. So Sonia comes to visit Sheree at the chateau. Look, Sheree looked good in her little 2-piece. I was like, okay. That's something I would wear to the gym. It's cute, all right? It's really cute. And then they put that price tag and I was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Are you crazy, Sheree? Are you crazy, Sheree? So the girls are working out and they're chatting and the doorbell rings and in comes the new peach holder, clout chasing Courtney. Yay! So Courtney comes in with her Mary J. Blige boots. I was like, dun 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 dun. I'm like, okay, go Mary. She came in with her boots. I'm like, she must have not got the memo because they're dressed to work out and she's dressed for something else. I mean, she did drop it like it's hot in the boots, but clearly she did not come to work out, okay? So they sit down to talk and Courtney starts introducing herself and she lets them know that she is a marketing consultant and she also has a jewelry line. Her and Sheree know each other because their kids went to school together. I'm like, okay, that's a weak link that they tried to make happen. It's like, okay, y'all don't really know each other like that. Anyway, so they start talking about Ross's party and Sonia's letting her know who's invited and Candy comes up. Courtney says, look, I heard that Candy was going around calling people and asking about me, asking if they know me. And I also heard that Candy was telling people that I told people that I'm friends with her. And Courtney's like, well, why is she worried about me? Isn't she worldwide? I thought that why she even think about me? Listen, if we're on a show together and I hear a new girl is coming, I am going to do my Googles and find out who you are. Like, who wouldn't do that? Like, come on now. Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't go check the social media and say, oh, okay, this is who she is. Okay, she's married. She's not married. Okay, she got kids. She don't got kids. Okay. Like, that's normal. That's normal. There's nothing like weird about that. Am I crazy? Tell me what you think. Wouldn't you do the same thing? Is she making it seem like Candy opened up an FBI investigation on her? Like, girl, she just probably called somebody, if she even did that, and looked at your social media. Like, it is not that deep, but we can see Courtney's gonna make this into a thing. And if she talk about this shit the whole season, I'm gonna be really irritated. Like, if this is gonna be your storyline the entire season about Candy trying to figure out who you were, girl, like, cause I'm already tired, honestly. And then Sheree is like,
well, Candy got a lot of time on her hands. Well, you know, Candy got a lot of time on her hands because she did a spoof about me.
Sheree, Candy does spoofs about everyone. You know this, right? Like, she does spoofs about everybody. She did you. She did Marlo. Hell, she did Kaya. Like, she does spoofs about everyone. I don't know why Sheree thinks that Candy really needs her for clickbait. I think Sheree really believes that. You know that Candy is like building a brand, building her social media presence. And I'm not even a Candy stan like that. But it's really simple what Candy is doing. She's not making spoofs because she's like enamored with you. She's making spoofs because they're funny and they're going to bring traction to her page. And if it wasn't about you, it could easily be about someone else. Like, she doesn't need you to bring traffic to her page. She got a lot of other shit going on, Sheree. Like, don't do that. You're coming off as delusional. So Courtney asked Sheree if Martel is the reason for this glow that she has. And she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, girl, Sheree. Girl, okay. And okay. And Sheree says that they're not putting a label on it. And I'm like, girl, you couldn't put a label on it if you wanted to put a label. Girl, you couldn't put no label on that. Come on now. If you're going to put a label, it's going to say contractual obligation. Maybe that. Yeah, maybe that you could put on it. But y'all ain't putting no real label. And honestly, if this was a relationship, like say this wasn't Martel, say this was just someone else and she was dating, and you said that y'all have been together every week since y'all saw each other in New York. This is months and months. You're telling me, Sheree, at your grown age, knowing that you want a real relationship, knowing that you want to be with somebody, right? That's not what everyone wants, but Sheree has made it known she wants to be in a relationship. She want a man. You will let this dude string you along for months and y'all don't have a label? Y'all don't have a title? Like that, girl, okay. Sheree is too grown to be moving the way she moves. She's too grown. So we cut to Sonia and she's talking about the party and the venue. She said her original budget was $40K, but she says after the dancers and the DJs and the poker table and stuff, it's at $100K. Now, maybe because I've been watching so much Housewives of Miami and I see their events, they don't play when they throw an event on Housewives of Miami, okay? To me, Sonia's event didn't really compare. It didn't look like a Gertie event. If you know who Gertie is on Housewives of Miami, then you know. It wasn't giving Gertie event, but then maybe, I mean, Gertie's events probably cost more than $100K, probably. Yeah, okay, Sonia. So, I mean, okay, it's cute. It was cute. It's cute, Sonia. So Candy and Todd are helping each other pick out outfits for the party. And Todd is like, so I can't wear my pimp hat. And Candy's like, no, unless you want Marlo to come asking for a job. Child. I cackled. Meanwhile, Marlo is telling her little friend, like, look, this is the first time that I'm going to be seeing Candy since New York City. And then Marlo brings up the spoof that Candy did about her. You know, the one where the wig was down here. And Marlo's like, I guess she got to do spoofs because music ain't working for her and her Broadway show ain't working for her. And I'm like, didn't Candy just get like nominated for an award for her Broadway show? And Candy is still eating off of her music, singing and songwriting. She don't never got to make a song again. See, that's the thing with Marlo is Marlo just says anything. Like, she just says anything, and it don't be making sense half of the time. She just gets emotional and upset, and just anything comes out of her mouth. That's what I can't stand about Marlo, and she was the same last season. And she says that she's cool on Candy, and I'm like, are you going to be cool on Candy, or are you going to be cool on Candy like you said you was cool on Kenya last season, but every 5 minutes you are begging for Kenya's attention? Every 5 minutes,
Kenya, we need to have a conversation. Kenya, are we going to have a conversation?
Are you cool on her like that? Because if that's what you're giving this season, then you're not cool on Candy, because you was not cool on Kenya. So it's the night of the party, and Kenya says that her expectations for this party are very low. Given the get-togethers that Sonia has had in the past, okay, her expectations are really low for this party. So Ralph's hoe ass is there, and he's... Let me be... So Ralph is there, and he's there without Drew, and when everyone is like, oh, where's Drew at? He's like, she had a family crisis. She had a family crisis that she had to deal with. And in Kandis Confessional, she's like, aren't you part of her family? Aren't y'all family? Listen, Ralph been dropping hints from forever that he don't really like Drew like that. Like, we know this, okay? We been knew this. We know they're getting divorced. Like, Ralph been trying to let us know, like, her family is going through something. That don't got nothing to do with me. I'm here to turn up for my boy's 40th, okay? That's the energy that Ralph is giving. He's like, F Drew and Josiah. That don't got nothing to do with me. So Martel and Sheree show up, and Kenny's in her confessional. She's like, why is she here with him? And he's on her arm. Ew. And in Kandis Confessional, she's like, last season, Sheree was walking around with community service, and this season, she's working around with community property. Now, she really wanted to say community zick. That's what she really wanted to say, but she tried to keep it cute. And Sheree did not like that because they was going back and forth on Twitter last night about it, okay? Sheree was online last night defending her man, but wasn't Martel just on a show saying that him and Sheree were great friends? So why is Sheree even speaking up for Martel right now? when he just called you. Anyway, girl, whatever. Ain't the contract up, Sheree? You don't gotta do this. The contract is up, baby. Kenya asked Sheree and Martel if they're official, and he's like, yeah, we're officially dating. And Sheree's in her confessional. She's like, I don't even know why Kenya is even asking about what we got going on. She needs to worry about if Mark is gonna take her house in her divorce. And in Kenya's confessional, she's like, Sheree needs to have a spinoff show called Watch Me Date These Dumb Men. And I'm like, Kenya, not too much. Not too much on Sheree, baby, because your track record ain't that great either, okay? Not too much. So Marlo and Courtney get to talking, and you know Courtney got to clock in for her peach, so she's telling Marlo, Candy was going around saying that I said that we're friends, and Marlo, you know Marlo is thirsty as hell, so she's like, well, yeah, you definitely gonna have to talk to her about that. Yeah, you gonna have to definitely talk to her about that. I'm like, Marlo, girl, shut up. Marlo just want mess, girl. Marlo like to keep up mess. So Manetta, Candy, and Kenya start talking about, you know, the tea that they've been hearing on the street about Martel, and they're like, well, let's tell Sheree, let's pull her aside. So they go to pull Sheree aside, and Martel is like, he's looking like, can I come? Go back and look. That's how Martel looked. Like, oh, well, damn, I want to come too. Like, I want some camera time too. Take me, please. That's how Martel looked. So they take Sheree aside, and they're telling her what they've heard, and they've heard that he's been with other women. And she's like, well, I've been with him for the past 3 days, so where's she at? Who gonna check me, boo? I've been with him for the past 3 days, so where's she at? And Sheree's in her confessional talk about she's a Ferrari, and if he's cheating on her with a Toyota. You see how some women think how it's automatically beef with... Someone tells you that your man is cheating on you, and you automatically make the other woman the enemy, as opposed to your man who's cheating on you. You see how some... Girl, anyway.
Oh, well, she's a Toyota. I'm a Ferrari.
Girl, were you a Ferrari when you were sitting outside being stood up by a damn felon, ex-con, whatever the hell he is? Have you sitting outside in the cold for hours? Were you a Ferrari then, or were you a Toyota? Were you a Ferrari then, or were you a Toyota? Let me know. Meanwhile, Candy and Courtney are speaking, and Courtney is approaching Candy with this passive-aggressive, nice, nasty energy. We've all seen it. We've probably done it before. And Courtney's like, yeah, well, like, I heard that you were telling people that I said I knew you. And Candy's like, I know someone that you know, but I don't know you, right? Like, if someone mentioned you, I wouldn't remember who you were. And Courtney's like, yeah, well, I never said that I knew you. And Candy's like, okay, like, I couldn't do reality TV because once I say something once, I'm not going back and forth with you about it. Once I say something once, I'm not going back and forth with you about it. Okay? You didn't say that you knew me. Okay, miscommunication. Okay, it's done. I'm not going back and forth with you. And there is a difference between meeting someone or an acquaintance or meeting someone in passing and knowing someone. There's a difference between knowing of someone and knowing someone, right? Like, come on now. So Courtney clocks in and she starts getting rah-rah, and Candy starts getting rah-rah, right? And Candy's like, why are you even coming at me with all this energy? And then Sonia tries to calm it down, and Courtney's like, okay, like, I apologize. I just wanted to clear things up, but I don't need you to clout chase. And Candy's like, okay, you're doing it again. And I get it. Like, the moment was brought down, and then Courtney brought it back up. She's like, nah, wait. Let me cook. Courtney's like, wait, let me cook. I'm not done yet. Like, clearly Courtney was looking for a moment. Clearly Courtney was making something out of nothing. It was not that serious. And I could understand why Candy was getting upset. But Candy said, I'm about to headbutt this bitch. I'm like, not headbutt? Candy, you be going around headbutting people? You little short self. Candy, come on, girl. You can't be going around headbutting people, Candy. That is not ladylike. Can you imagine Candy fucking headbutting people? Candy girl, don't be doing that. Come on. Don't be doing that, Candy. Come on now. And the whole time you see Marlo in the corner trying to listen. Marlo's so damn annoying. I can't. Marlo is trying to hear, okay? She's so happy that Candy's in drama and she's not in it, okay? So back to Sheree, Kenya, and Manetta, right? Kenya says, look, Sheree, I also wanted to tell you, I just wanted to let you know this, that Martel did slide in my DMs before. And Sheree's like, well, let me see it. Let me see the DM. And I'm with Sheree, like, okay, well, let me see it then, okay? And of course, Kenya don't got anything to show Sheree because the DM was deleted. And Kenya can't even really tell her what was said in the DM because she don't remember. So Kenya's just like, well, and Sheree's like, let me see it. But Kenya don't got anything to show. So then Sheree says, okay, well, let's call Martel over here. And you know Martel he's like, yeah, can I come over now? He was so excited. Martel, he was so excited. He was like a puppy waiting to get called. He couldn't wait for her to call her over there so he could get some camera time. So we get a little glimpse of what's going to happen in the next episode. It looks like it's going to be a hot mess. Candy's going to be cursing out Martel, child. Listen, the ladies are back and they are working for their peach this season, okay? Let me know what you think down below. Let's chat. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Roxy says we're gonna talk about it. Roxy says we're gonna talk about it.